Well, we have these massive storms, a cold front coming through. So
that's nice weather.
Well,
better than 52 and drizzly.
It's what's behind that, my son.
Oh, so once you get through the bad, you're going to have beautiful weather?
Yes, that's how it pushes through. Mr. Chacon, if you're watching, I saw you just tried calling, but had to go live. Tass, how you doing, buddy?
Things are good, my friend. Things are good. We've got some mass intros this weekend, so excited about that.
Yes, you do.
Yes, we do.
You have a total of like 180 potential students, don't you?
Yeah, 180 people in a little 2-week course. So we've got part of those people graduating this weekend, then next weekend the same. So it's been a lot of phone work and text work and pre-framing and getting everybody confirmed. So it's a big opportunity.
Yeah, that's great, man. So yeah. The I can't talk. Give me a minute. The topic of this call is, what's the biggest challenge or the biggest obstacle holding you back from growing your school? Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Everybody.
Afternoon it is, Mets. It depends where they're. I mean, for Mr. Johnson and on the West Coast, it's still morning, but everybody else, it's the afternoon, baby.
We're wheeling already. We're dealing. What is the biggest challenge or obstacle that's holding you back or to grow your school? What is the biggest challenge? Tass, do you have any challenges or?
No, man, we don't have ever. No, we never have any challenges. Things are. It's like a bowl of cherries around here, baby. No challenges at all. You know, I've heard this phrase before, right? Like, it's funny. The harder I work, the luckier I get, right? And I think that resonates with a lot of things. And I also think that sometimes the challenges, and it could be both, Mr. Weaver, mental or physical. What's your biggest challenge right now growing your martial arts school? For those of you that can't hear, we would just thought we would post that up there. So.
Right. We do closed caption. That statement right there may get me in trouble and canceled, by the way.
It could. All right. Mr. Moore, listening to my consultant. Yes, right. Very good.
That is your biggest challenge. That's all right. That's all right, Moore. It's only a matter of time.
Right on.
Mr. Kling.
Hey, Kling.
Weaver, mental or physical? Either or, my friend. Either or. But go ahead, Tass. You were saying.
Yeah, I think, part of it is, and I've learned this over the course of years. And, I think sometimes our biggest challenges, what we think are the biggest challenges today, we look back on and may have been blessings, right? And I say that because I'm going to use staff as an example, right? So staff can be a big challenge for a lot of people, right? Whether it's finding new staff, train the staff that you have, making sure your existing staff is where you want them to be, your team, or, we refer to them as team members, obviously. But, sometimes when things happen, it can be a real gut punch for a lot of us, especially if we haven't experienced that several times. And that's where experience comes in. And, I think when I've had employees that have come and gone, I think the biggest thing for me is I remember when it first happened, and it was one of those things that was like, oh my God, this is brutal. And over time, we understand what's on the other side of that because we've dealt with it so many times that now, yes, it's never fun to lose anybody, right? And we lose people for all different reasons. But at the end of the day, knowing what's going to happen, beyond that is what's important. This is why I think everybody needs a coach. Everyone needs, someone to walk them through because they've been on the other side of that. They've had the experience with that. But somebody come. Oh, there's Sylph. Hey, Sylph. How are you?
Good. Is this the Metzger Tassoul Show?
Yeah. Well, now it's the Metzger Tassoul Show. Thank you.
You want to see something impressive?
Yeah. Hold on. Breaking.
He can't say you want to see something impressive and then go off camera. That's just weird.
What is it? Guys,
hang on, everybody. Some of the biggest challenges in the Orlando office are ADD. So we will we'll pause for a commercial break.
Right on. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
and it's a gas.
He's excited.
He's excited.
That's great. All right. So sorry, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, you want to see something great, and then he tells you, and you know, it was exciting for you guys, but you know, we'll just all sit over here.
And I can't share that till we get to at least 60 viewers.
All right, deal. But yeah, man, listen, experience. You said it years ago, and I think it was in an article in MA Success, and it was about owning multiple locations. And one of the things that I think that you had talked about is temperament. And you know, I think that has rung true with me for a lot of years, is understanding the temperament and how to deal with the way things are. You know, listen, things are going to happen, but it's how we choose to deal with that, and do we have the temperament? And I believe that's something that can be learned over time, but it's also learned through experience and happening over and over and over again. And this is why, when having a coach, if something like that happens, you're going to find the coach is probably a lot more calm than you are, because they've been down that road before and they've dealt with it and they know what's on the other side of it. So sometimes those things can be our biggest challenges. Is Mr. Weaver had said on here is mindset when something like that happens, and how we're going to react, and what are we going to do, and how we're going to move forward. So that's an example, but that's one of the things that I've found to be true, you know, over the course of time. But temperament is something that you need to really keep your finger on the pulse of, and know, you know, how you're reacting to any given situation, and do your best, obviously, to be proactive as opposed to reactive in those situations.
Well, you know, so I just got done having a quick meeting, and by the way, Mr. Johnson, sounds like a commercial, or that we pay for this, but this is his comment. Felt like I was in a round 6 of a 6-round fight and had the crap kicked out of me for the first 5 rounds. After joining Maya last year, I realized I was only going into round 6 of a 12-round fight. My gross is up 300%, but I find myself fearful, more than optimistic, about a new season of prosperity beginning. Any tips, advice, encouragement, or swift kick to the teeth to move away from fear and towards positive optimism? I only knew what most of those words meant, but they were big words for me. No, in all seriousness, this is interesting, and I'm going to address this, but here's the thing. First of all, let me give you some tips, everybody. If you're watching this, I'd write this down just to remind yourself. Most of you work from the ground up instead of the top down. And if you understand what the goal is, this is what I'm trying to get to. Now work backwards on what is the most efficient way to get there, right? Because the question was, what's the biggest challenge to grow your school today? Well, look, I said, you know, it's not as, I think people underestimate how hard it is to become successful, right? I think they underestimate it. I think they think, you know, hey, I'm going to just start this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be successful. And you hit this plateau, and most of the times it is getting out of your own way, because it is us that get burnt out. It is us that make excuses. It is also us that makes things even harder than what it should be. And I just had a meeting with my team, and I was talking to them about how, when you have a coach, I was talking specifically about our directors of operations. So our directors of operations oversee all of our chief instructors, managers, program directors. It's the way our corporate structure is set up. And I was telling them something I want to tell all of you. You need somebody to have a bird's eye view of your business. And when you have a bird's eye view of the business, for example, Mr. Johnson saying, any tips, advice, encouragement, or a swift kick to the teeth to move away from fear and towards positive optimism. And my advice would be is to get somebody that has that bird's eye view. It doesn't need to be Maya, okay? There's other people that can do this for you. But when you have that bird's eye view, we see things that you don't see. We also see the direction things are headed before you get there. Meaning you wake up one morning and you're like, man, what happened? I mean, we're down right now. Now you're up, and when you're up, when your gross is up, and when things are going well, and I know Mr. Johnson, you have Maya, but when your gross is up, we get more fearful, right? We get more fearful to continue climbing the ladder because we're more afraid of losing what we built and what we have, as opposed to when we're in a bad spot or when we're asking for help because we're just struggling or making ends meet, we're willing to do things. And then you have this growth, and then we slow down and we're a little afraid. We're afraid because we're in a really comfortable spot. And comfortable is a dangerous place to be. And the biggest obstacle to growing your martial arts school right now starts and ends with you. That's it. Now you could say staff. Well, why? Why staff? Well, because my staff doesn't do this. My staff can't do it as well as me. Train them better. Hire better people. It always starts and ends with you, right? That's it. Go ahead, Tass.
You hit on something, and I find myself, having to be very intentional about this as well. So you talked about it's my staff and train them. You said this to me. There's a difference between telling and teaching. And I think it's important to know, there's a saying, it's like, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go further, go as a team. And sometimes we have to take one step backwards to take two steps forward, right? And so if you have a team member and you're like, you're sitting down and you're training them and you're like, well, here, let me just do it. Well, you're not teaching. You're the one that's always doing it. You're doing it. And then you get frustrated because you're like, I can get it done faster. And then you just get it done. Well, there's no opportunity for them to learn. And I have to remind myself of this, to take a step back, be calm, know that they haven't done this before, train them on it so that they can do it, because now I don't ever have to touch that again because I have a team member that can do it and they're going to become more efficient at it. And the reality is, as school owners, right, if you guys are anything like me, I mean, if you're a single operator or you're a husband-wife team or whatever, you are juggling 100 balls in the air and you're going to drop some balls. This is why having a team of trained people, right? And you're going to say, well, I got to find those people. Yes. And you find those people in your school and you do a great job of training them and you help them and you help them understand. That is all going to take time. We're not going to wave a magic wand. I've been guilty of this as well, where I will try and give them all of the information in a 1-hour staff meeting. They become very, very overwhelmed. We need to know that consistency over time in our training is going to grow us leaps and bounds in the years to come. It's going to be difficult for us to do that in all categories in 30 days, right? Yeah, we could have more gross revenue. Great. Yeah, we could have a big pop of new students. Fantastic. But are you going to be able to maintain that? And are you going to be able to consistently grow because you have the training, the systems, and the procedures that are in place? I just think that's so important. I forget sometimes because I'm like, just let me do it. I'll just do it. Well, then everything comes back to me because they don't know how to do that. So take time, train the people that you have. Know it's going to take longer on the front end, but in the big picture, now you have everybody knowing the systems and what to do. And you're going to get way more done, which allows you eventually, like Metzger said, to become that person who's that visionary and then oversee your team and keep training and working with them to keep getting these things done. So you're not caught up with the mundane everyday tasks of doing it yourself because you don't want to let go. You want to micromanage. You want to do everything. We got to understand how to let go sometimes so that we can grow and we can move up to the next level. I think that's a real key point. And you've reminded me of that several times. And I have to be intentional about it because it's human nature to want to just take over and just get it done. And that's oftentimes because we're reacting and we're not being proactive about our business.
And by the way, do you all even know when you're not being honest with yourself? I mean, you don't know. If you've never been financially successful with your business, and by the way, we define success differently, but I'm not defining success by saying I can pay all the bills and and, you know, I take a decent wage, you know. Do you know what life is like when you can pay somebody that came up under you $100,000 a year plus medical benefits, plus matching on retirement, you know, an IRA, plus giving them paid vacation, seeing them build a dream house and start a family? Do you know what that feeling is like? Because that to me is where all of you should want to be. You should want to be able to provide that, but you can't provide that for someone else if you're not providing it for yourself and leading by example. And I just don't understand. Well, I do understand. We lie to ourselves. You know, some of you will say, oh, I have enough money. I make enough money. To do what? You make enough money to do what? Right? And then you might say everything that I want. Well, go buy $1 million condo on the beach, on both sides of the country. You know what I mean? And have your main home. Not that you want to do that. I'm making a point, though, that I always try to tell people. I want you to have options. I want you to be. If you want a condo, for example, I want you to be able to have a condo. But if you don't want it, don't get it. But if you want to be able to pay a staff member or hire somebody so they can get a condo, I want you to be able to pay them accordingly. If you want to give more money to your church, I want you to be able to do that. Stop making excuses saying I already have enough. Right. Stop trying to just maintain where you're at. Stop just being comfortable, you know, or jump off this show, because that's not who we are. We're not here to get you comfortable. We're here to get you to the top of the industry, and it's your job to make sure your quality stays high on the floor. And I keep repeating that, but you can have your cake and eat it too, and you can share that cake, by the way, and nothing makes me more proud than sharing that cake with all of my team members and now, you know, all of our CMA affiliates and everybody else. I mean, get out of your own way and start growing. And if you have an obstacle, by the way, I read some of the answers. You know, what's your biggest obstacle? Well, give us a call. We'll tell you how to overcome that obstacle. But I'm also going to pre-frame by telling you, not every obstacle is easy to overcome. But all obstacles can be overcome. All of them. Or we wouldn't have success, right? So you said it earlier, Tass, about experience. You got to experience these things and know that when you have an obstacle in front of you, the day you overcome it and find a way around it and get through it, the next time that obstacle comes up, you're going to be more confident. No, it's not a big deal. I can get through it. The benefit of working with somebody like me or Tass or any other consultant in the industry is a lot of us have already been through every obstacle that you're ever going to face. And, you know, I'm going to let everybody in and then I'm going to throw it to you. But do you guys know that when I was running 1 school, 2 schools, and 3 schools, I was in my late 20s. I literally was having heart palpitations, and I went to a cardiologist and I wore the stickers and I wore what they call a Holter monitor just to see if my heart's okay, because I was like, it was the stress. Why? Well, because I was going through all of the obstacles and I didn't have a mentor around to help me get through these things. And I had Holter monitors. And I would say at the time I had part-timers. I had a couple staff members. I had 3 full-time guys. And I said, look what you guys are doing to me. I'd lift my shirt up and I had wires. And I was joking about it, but I said, guys, this is stressful. You know, I want to make sure that I can take care of you. And a phrase that I used with these 3 specific guys, the phrase I used was, listen to me. Please stay with me, because I promise you, I know I am focused on getting to the top and I want to take you with me. But right now, you're overworked and underpaid. But I promise you, I'll get you to the day where you're underworked and overpaid. I said, I will get you there, and I promise. And all of those guys stuck with me, you know, and I fulfilled that promise. But my point is those obstacles were stressful, man. Now owning all of the schools that we own and the real estate, and we have a licensing company and we have this, I don't have any heart palpitations. I mean, I have none. A lot of you make the excuse like, oh, I don't want multiple schools. It's more headache. It's a lot of headache. 1, 2, and 3 is a lot of headache. Once you pass into 4 or 5 locations, you have the revenue to hire a middle management to help take that burden and that stress off to oversee operations. And that's why we have a directors of operations. But you don't usually have the revenue all the time to have that in place with 1 or 2 or 3 schools. So our job is to help you continue to grow and scale your business. We would never tell you guys, hey, you hit a Mr. Well, look at these things. Mr. Munding, for example. These guys have talked me off the ledge more than one occasion. This month we hit a record revenue. Mr. Munding, we're done. Congratulations. We've mission accomplished. God bless you. We're good. We're not done. We got to continue to scale. Why? I want to get his people an opportunity to help him grow, take some burden off him, and share in some of that wealth and some of that revenue to give them a career in martial arts. That's what we're here for. I mean, and I want you guys to get out of your own way and stop making excuses. Period. Just stop making excuses. And I realized this with my own family. I realized that a lot of times we don't even realize we're making an excuse, right? Because we believe it so much. But if you're saying anything on why I can't or I don't want to, you're lying to yourself. Who doesn't want the benefits of having more locations? Who doesn't want that? If you have more locations, you impact more people. You change more people's lives. You can make more money. What it is you're afraid. You're afraid that you won't be able to do it. You're afraid it's going to be more headache. You're afraid of this. You're afraid of that. But who wouldn't want the benefits of that? You're lying to yourself. Thank you. Well, and God bless you, Cass.
Yeah, right. You said it, and I think it's important you guys, hear this. Like you said that before, like some of you guys want to maintain. There's no such thing as maintaining. You're either growing or you're dying, right? And so, there's this phrase of be happy but not satisfied, right? So enjoy the process, be happy but never be satisfied with where you're at. But I think that's a very important phrase for everyone to understand, because you have to be happy. Happy provides a culture for you. It provides a culture for the people that are around you. If every day that you're going in, you're disappointed, you're frustrated because you're not at the level that you want to, or where you want to be, that's going to shine through. But if you take some time and realize the successes, the strengths of your business, and be happy with that, but we're not satisfied. We're going to keep moving forward, but you have to enjoy the day. Metzger said it about culture, and these guys, by the way, Metz, how long? I just saw someone that was with you 20 years. They've been with you 20 years. How many of you can say that you've had someone that's been with you for 20 years? And by the way, that's not one person. That's multiple people that are in the
staff, not students. Staff.
This is staff specifically, right? So how does that happen? Well, it happens because of the culture of the business, right? And that starts from the top down, right? Not from the ground up. You got to start that from the top down. And so, as you guys look at this stuff and we're thinking about this, and, what I'm doing in my school, same thing, trying to create that culture and the fun and the exciting and a good time and joke around, but know when we got to get the job done. Be happy, but never be satisfied. Always work on taking your business to the next level. And I think Jay Abraham said it, but he said it's way easier to run a successful business than an unsuccessful business. And you said the same thing. When you're dealing with 1, 2, or 3 schools, not saying it was unsuccessful, but it wasn't as successful as having more locations and where you're at now. Well, why? Because there's certain things that you can do and certain systems that you have and leverage with the executive team and someone overseeing that you can do those things when you're more successful, which is why he says it's way easier to run a successful company than an unsuccessful company.
And let me tell you, let me just address a couple things real quick here. Then you talk about, quality. Our quality started to go down, guys. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it didn't. It did. As we expanded, our quality started to go down. We were having a record year. And I stopped a black belt test with 100 and some kids testing, not kids, but adults, kids. I stopped it. And I called all the instructors over. And I told them in a huddle, we need to do a better job. I don't ever want to see people as a whole. Of course, there was a lot of people that were high quality, but as a whole, I was not happy with the quality. And I told them in that huddle, I don't give a damn if your school's doing $150,000 a month. We're not going to have this kind of quality. We could do better. Just understand that. I'm a stickler on the quality and the promises that we make to our customers. And I know we could do better. But my point in saying that is, when the revenue stream's coming in, we're always trying to be better. It doesn't mean we're always trying to find a way to make more money. In this instance, it was, we got to do better at the service that we're providing. And we've been training on that. As a matter of fact, as I sit here and speak, there's a training going on at our World Training Center, 3.5 miles down the road. I mean, we need both. And I want to make sure that you have both. And by the way, just so you know, this isn't planned, right? But Mr. Perry just walked in and he said, hey, why don't you please tell everybody about the Next Level Summit? And it's not like we come on here to try to push these things. But if you're serious about growing, we have a Next Level Summit here in Orlando. And I'm looking over here because he wrote it on the board for me. December 3rd and 4th. And it's $199 for 2 people to attend. But you're also going to see a live holiday event at this thing on Saturday morning. That's the 4th, our live holiday event. But December 3rd and 4th, $199 for 2 people. If you're a Maya Edge member, it's $149 for 2 people. But register. Like here's something. Like, what's the excuse? I don't think these guys can do it. You don't think we can do what? Make you more than $199 by spending 2 days with us? Okay, but you got to pay for a hotel and you got to fly in. So let's say it's $300 for your airfare and $200 for your hotel. That's $500, and it's $199 for 2 people. That's $700. Are you signed up yet? I mean, like, what's the excuse? Even if you don't like us, I'll make your investment. We'll make your investment. I mean, it's like, this is what I mean. If you're serious about growing and separating yourself from the rest of the industry, but I don't want to separate anybody from the industry. I want our industry to grow. I want it to flourish. I just, as a matter of, I mean, we can go on and on. I mean, thing is, when I talk about obstacles, when I put the question out, it's one of those trigger points with me because no obstacle cannot be overcome. And by the way, we have Jason Patino. He's down the street from us, American Top Team. He's happens to have a school 1.5 miles from our World Training Center. And I asked him, how'd the grand opening go? Because he bought his own building, moved in. I helped him. I said, how many people signed up at your grand opening? How's it going? They opened 45 days ago, their grand opening. Total enrollment since we've had the grand opening with the special that I helped him with, 70 is about 70. His text is here. Okay. Is about 70.
By the way, how far is he from you?
1 mile down the road.
Miles?
My point is
1 mile.
1 mile. I don't even know if it's a mile, maybe 1.5 miles. Maybe it's 1.5 miles on the same street. But my point is we got to elevate the industry. I'd love to see you guys here in Orlando, Florida, the Next Level Summit, December 3rd and 4th, $199 for 2 people to attend, $149 if you're a Maya Edge member. Let us help you guys. Let us give you some ideas to think about. Let's go that route. Let us just give you some ideas that might take your business up to another level. And I am very confident that we can help you with that even in just 2 days. Give you some information and details that can do that.
He's saying ideas, but you're going to get action steps to go back and make revenue. But he's trying to make you guys understand. I mean, help you guys understand that sometimes I think we say things and it becomes it's not believable, right? But Metz, if you had to sum it in one word, the reason why people aren't as successful as they or their biggest challenge, right? What's their biggest challenge? What's the biggest challenge of someone's business? If you had to sum it up in one word,
fear.
Okay. So fear. So check this out. So you're afraid of spending the money to come down to Orlando. You're afraid of going out and doing a program, whether the consulting, you're afraid of whatever you're afraid of to pull the trigger.
You're afraid that we can't really give you an idea.
We can't help you or whatever. So what's the fastest way to eliminate fear? Well, the fastest way to eliminate fear is by taking action. And I forget who said it, but it was double your failure rate, right? That doesn't mean on purpose go out and try and fail more. It means we're going to fail until we get it right. We're going to fail forward. And here's the thing. We teach this, I'm off camera, the 4 steps of being successful. Number 1 is you have to learn how to be successful. Well, number 2 is, and this is where the action will crush the fear, you execute what you learn. And sometimes people get caught up in being information junkies, and I'm doing what you're saying. I'm learning to be successful. I'm going to every seminar. I'm going to every event. I tune into all the Zoom calls and the Facebook lives, and our calendar is so booked up with listening to people that we never take the time to do step 2, which is to go execute what we learned. And that is the number 1 thing that needs to happen. But I mean, you got to learn first, but you got to execute, because if you learn and never execute, you're not going to get to the next level. And then for those of you that really want to become successful, because if you just learn and execute, it's just you over and over and over again. You have to teach others to learn to become successful. And this is what I said earlier is you have to teach them how to execute. And sometimes that feels like we're taking 1 step back to take 2 forward, because we've already done steps 1 and 2. We know how to do that. We don't want to take the time to teach them how to execute when we can just do it for them. But that's the 4 steps. You got to learn to be successful. You got to execute what you learn. That will eliminate fear, by the way. Taking action eliminates fear, I promise. Then teach others to learn to be successful. Then teach them how to execute. And that's where success starts to happen, team. I mean, that's really what it is. And that's why I asked them the question, sum it up in 1 word. It's fear of something. But the biggest way to eliminate fear, take action. Period.
But sometimes we don't allow ourselves to say that we're scared. We make excuses, right? And the excuses are, look, Cass, at the end of the day, look, we live in a little bubble here. We're just 2 more talking heads in this sea of information and everyone trying to tell everyone else how to run their business. And I understand that. I mean, we're just 2 more talking heads in the industry. People will see us and they sign in, they sign off, because they'll just scroll down and there's somebody else talking and giving their information, and somebody else talking and giving their information. And it's information overload, and there's good and there's bad. And then we'll start making excuses saying, oh, everybody wants to tell me how to run my business. Everybody wants to do this, that, and the other. Slap yourself in the face and say, maybe I should actually just listen for a minute, to any one of those talking heads. Is there any relevancy here? Do I really think these guys or this person can maybe help me a little bit? Reset, because it's like, who wants to hear? We're just another, scroll on Facebook, man. But this is where I'm at in my life. My passion is to try to help the school owner, so I get frustrated. But guess what? This is an obstacle. The obstacle is how do I get through to more people in the industry to show them how much I can change their lives, or we can change their lives, right? Or the Maya systems can change their lives.
And shout out to Mr. Graziano. I know he just posted on there 20 months of the last 24 increase in gross, breaking records using the Maya systems and habits. Great job, sir. That's awesome.
By the way, and Mr. Weaver, do you find the majority of people that join Maya are kind of successful already, or like me, who hit rock bottom and considered shutting their doors? It's across the board. We have both. We have people that join in that are doing 50, 60, 70,000. Some people have been doing 100,000 a month that join Maya Elite. And there's schools that have 50 students or 40 students that join Maya. And it's across the board. It's wherever you're at in life, the person who's joining Maya is saying, I know I could do something better. I need to get more systems, or I need to go to that next level from whatever level you're currently at.
And you said 50. I'm just putting this out there so Mr. Weaver understands this. Like literally from all ends of the spectrum, right? I had the client that had 3 students. 2 of them were actually his kids, and he had 1 actual student teaching in a gym. And a year later, we got him into a commercial location, and he had over 100 students. So it's literally everybody. It's what is it that you need in your school, you know, and whether we go through the 3 hours or whatever it is, I mean, that's the deal.
I think Miss, I don't know if I should say the name, but the winner is we had a couple join Maya 17 years ago or something, and they signed up with 12 students. They had 12 students and both had full-time jobs. 17 years later, they stayed the whole time until the day they retired. And they retired now and are living a good life now, you know, and they're done. You know, they ran their school. My point is we've seen people go from 12 students all the way to retirement. You know what I mean? But you got to think about that too, depending on your age. If you want to keep things going, we need a team. All right, what else?
Here you go. Down to 50 students 3 years ago, 200 students now. Awesome, Mr. Mundine. Love it.
Yeah, there you go. If you want to look at the Next Level Summit, there's some spots left that says, I'm just reading Shelby Kirkland. Just, you know, let us help you. Try it. If we don't help you, I'll give you the $199 in cash back at the second day. Tash, just make sure you bring enough cash.
Yeah, right on. I'll bring $2.
Okay, perfect. I'll bring.
That's how confident I am.
There we go. Very good.
Bring a $2 bill.
Anyway, so your biggest obstacle, no matter what the answer is put it this way. It's all the obstacles. There's going to be obstacles, but there's bigger challenges. Let's go that route. And the bigger challenges are staff, because you got to let go of some control. That's going to be the biggest, whether you face that yet or not, that will be your biggest challenge. And that's a challenge that will never go away, but you learn how to become a better manager, a better coach, a better boss, and you'll learn how to implement better systems so that challenge isn't as big as it should be. But anytime you start spreading out and scaling, you have to manage the process, and that'll become your biggest obstacle. But other than that, when people had said, well, my biggest challenge is getting new students, my biggest challenge is keeping my students, my biggest challenge is fitting enough people on those aren't challenges. Those are easy. Those are nothing. That's just part of doing business. Mr. Arsamont, 11 years in business. We've been breaking records since joining Maya in June. October will be another record-breaking month.
Good for you, sir.
The Maya systems. Hey, and we love having you on board, man. And it was great seeing you in Tampa, you know? So.
Absolutely. Yeah, but listen, I mean, you know, we're here if you guys need us. And I think, you know, Metz, we've said this in the past too, but I think everyone always thinks there's an agenda, and there is an agenda. And the agenda has help everyone become more successful. Listen, I have more clients than I want or need right now, right? And I don't mean that in a bad way. But when he calls me and says to me, hey, this guy needs your help, there's very few times I don't think I've ever turned anyone down. The reason why is because the joy, it's like, if I could back it up maybe for some of you guys on here, when you went to a tournament and you won at a tournament versus seeing your student go and win at a tournament, my guess is if you're like me, what you won versus watching your student win, it did more for you emotionally as a person when you actually watch one of your students win in a tournament. That's what it does in the martial art industry. It's like when we can see it and we can help you and we can get you to the next level, I just love seeing the success, and just wouldn't take anybody on as a client if we didn't think we could help them. And there's no more joy than that, because you've said it before, Metz. You know, it's like people love you when you show them how they can make more money, right? And by the way, that's the business side of it, but while having a program with integrity and teaching great martial arts. And this is why it's so much fun to see the success of people.
Let me say this to everybody before we sign off. You have a problem if your biggest challenge today in growing your martial arts school is the same challenge you had a year or two ago. If you haven't figured out how to overcome those obstacles or challenges, and it's the same one, we have a problem. We got to.
It's called insanity, by the way. We're doing the same thing over and over and getting the same result, right? Whether you want to believe that or not.
Or you haven't figured out the answer on how not to make it your biggest challenge, because all of the challenges that were in that post, I've had. today, personally, they are not my challenges anymore. They're not my challenges anymore. They're my director's challenges now.
Right.
I've set up systems where they've evolved, and I've created an opportunity for them to get into a position to be compensated to help other people and deal with those challenges. So that's where you want to get to. But back in the day when I had 2 schools, 3 schools, it was all coming toward to me. You know, that's why I was wearing that Holter monitor and having heart palpitations and everything else. So, and then asked about, what is it? Asked about partner in education yesterday in the group Facebook. Ernie from CMA called me right away, answered my questions very well. And now I have new things to implement. My biggest challenge is getting through all of the fire hose information to learn. That's a problem too. And that's another thing that we try to help you on is you got to prioritize the list, focus on one thing at a time to start, depending on how much team you have to help you. Maybe you're able to focus on 2 or 3 things, get it implemented and work on it, and then go to the next 3 things on the list. But when you're looking at a hodgepodge list of all the things that you've learned, it can be overwhelming. That's not the best way to grow.
Right on.
Anything else, Tass?
Oh, man, I mean, I always say it, right? The success goes to those who take action and do it with, you know, and take in the speed of it, right? I don't mean you have to try and implement 100 things at once, but you've got to consistently take action every day. And you've got to have that, you know, that pit in your stomach, like there's fear in there, like, man, I'm doing something I haven't done. And you have to have that feeling every single day and continue to take action. And that's where you're going to start seeing success. And that's really where I believe the success of our clients lies as well, because when they have a challenge or they get stuck, and they can pick up the phone or they can shoot us a text, and we get them unstuck. So that's what's keeping them moving forward. It's that momentum. And over time, that momentum, you know, in Wisconsin is like a snowball. It's just things start getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it can happen really, really fast in your school. But it's about taking consistent action every single day and knowing what it is to prioritize. Some of us are going to go to our schools today and be like, dang, I got to clean the school today. And that's going to be your priority. But maybe it's the same school that's saying, well, our enrollments are horrible this month. Well, then, not that we can't clean the school, but we need to focus on getting people in the door. I mean, there's certain things that we sometimes prioritize because it feels good when we vacuum and we clean the mirrors and we hit the checklist and get the to-dos done, but it didn't do anything for our business, right? And that's why sometimes you need a coach as well to see it through a different lens and give you some different ideas. So appreciate you guys. I mean, as always, appreciate you guys being on here, and anything that we can do to help, we're certainly here for.
That's it. And thank you, sir. And by the way, there's other consultants that are great that'll help you too, right? But unfortunately, Tass, someone's got to be the best.
That's right. That's right.
So we're going to continue to work on trying to be that.
That's right.
I'm kidding. Right. You guys hopefully
have a sense of humor.
Hopefully most of you don't have a sense of humor right now.
Right.
But anyway, Tass, you going to be here December 3rd and 4th?
I will not be.
Well, there goes our ticket sales. They just
went
out. We just sold out.
Yeah, right. So I will not be. I would love to be, but you know, just with some basics. And listen, I'll just be transparent with everybody. With you know, staff and team and everything else. I'm going to be here, you know, helping my team with their holiday event, working from the top down, right? So I want to make sure that I'm helping my team and pulling them up and making sure that they're getting what they need as well here at the event. And so we just had some challenges with staff and, you know, looking for different opportunities and things like that based on lifestyle and whatever else. But this is how it goes. And sometimes we got to step back into our school. So,
and Mr. Moore is always there for us.
Boom, Mr. Moore.
Bring it.
He's got a goal he's got to hit in December. So,
Mr. Moore, please just listen, because you, my friend,
he can crush it.
I mean, you can hit 6 figures on that day.
Yeah, that's what we talked about.
You do 6 figures?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, he knows the number.
For sure. Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't talk to you about that, but I know the active count and stuff, you can easily hit 6 figures on that day.
That's right.
And you absolutely can bring me the $2.
Right on.
After your event. Anyway, Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Go execute. And by the way, look at the posts above. And if you're in my elite, you get this anyway. So this is,
Yeah, so stay home. Stay home.
Yeah, you don't need to be here. You were just here. Anyway, hope to see some of you. Check out mayaedgeinfo.com/next-level-summit and register. Would love to see you out here. I'll be here. Michael Perry will be here.
Great team, great lineup. And guys, listen, I mean, I would say that it sounds like a pitch, but if there's one event that you would pick to go see, the holiday event would be it. I mean, like that would be it for me. Like when I saw even being a client in Elite for 2 or 3 years, I remember seeing the holiday event live, and it changed my perspective, and we blew up the next year. So if there's one event you're going to pick that we're going to get you your money back and thousands more in any event that we do. But this is a game changer, and Metzger always says it. Knowledge is forever. So you go to this event, and you're going to have this, and you can rinse and repeat this every single year and make thousands and thousands of dollars for the years to come.
You come to this event, and the majority of you that come to this event will make more revenue in 4 hours than you do in a month.
Right. That's right.
Right. So
exactly.
That's it. So if you're grossing right now like $76 a month, then maybe you won't get this. Maybe it won't pay for itself.
Right.
But if you're grossing at least $199 a month, you will make that in 4 hours for your holiday event.
Oh man.
All right. Anyway, Tass.
All right, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you. Appreciate everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.